and welcome back to Studio Tamera, the mystical paintress. Today we have all of these beautiful peonies that are blooming and exploding all over my yard. I have pale pink ones and maroon and white, and stop and smell the flowers. They are fabulous. We are going to be doing a quick small study of a peony today. I would like to send a shout out to all the taxidermists out there. Thank you. You are appreciated. And I would also like to send a shout out to Lenore with Faye Bella on Etsy. She made me these bracelets. Very cool. Thank you. Love them. So as you can see, I have my board set up as I usually do. And I always have it the same. So black, purple, alizarin, red, orange, ochre, Naples, which we gotta add, cad yellow light, viridian, cobalt. Uh-oh, we're out of ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, and white over here. Okay? Oh, and burnt umber at the bottom. So we need to add a few colors. This was my board Saturday out with the Michigan Plein Air painters. So I just add them like tubes of toothpaste. A little bit here and there, and that's all you need, really. We need some, oops. You know, these peonies are just so outstanding. Can you see them? They just go on and on and on. This whole garden is just full of peonies. I've always wanted to document my yard. Burnt umber. Burnt sienna. Isn't this fun? So usually I make sure my board's ready first, but some of my colors are a little dried out. I am using graham oil, which is walnut based, so they're good for the environment. And it is hot. It is really, really hot. It's like in the 90s. I'm gonna start sweating, so I'm gonna paint very quickly, okay? So I want you guys to follow along. I've got one right here. You can see I have, can you see all these in there? I hope you could see them all. There's so many. They're just beautiful. So I've always wanted to do a quick little painting, so we're gonna do a quick little painting. So I'm gonna bring you in. Let's see. Got more peonies here below you. They go all the way back like 50 feet, so there's a ton of them. I'm gonna lower this down a little. There. All right. I don't want you to see me, I want you to see the painting, because if anybody would like to follow along, I think this would be an excellent opportunity to do so. Okay, so I'm gonna paint fast, because it's hot. So I'm gonna mix some burnt umber with some ultramarine blue. And I'm going to squint. Always squint, too, when you're going to paint something. You want to squint. Let's lower you down a little more. There we go. Now you can get a much better view. So I'm squinting and I'm trying to decide what exactly, okay, there. Trying to decide what exactly I want to do. This one or this one. The sun is changing, so I think I'm going to do a vertical. And I'm just going to go ahead and try and sketch in a little bit of, I was going to do a robin's nest. I thought that would be super fun to do. because we've got a robin's nest with babies in it, but you know, I thought it might take like a half hour to do it, and it might affect the baby's feeding, and I don't want to hurt nature. So I took a picture of it, and I'll paint that in the studio later. Okay, so this is kind of, see how I'm doing this drawing? Just very, and you don't always have to use dark colors like I do. You can use any color you'd like. And then these kind of go like this. And then there's another layer in here, I see. I'm just squinting. When I first came out here to set up, oh my goodness, you guys, there was a phenomenally beautiful butterfly. Oh, isn't this fun being out in nature? I love it. So there's a leaf, then there's a leaf going up, and then the leaf habit of these, is that the right word? I don't even know. They kind of do this. So there's one, but I don't want just one. I'm still using the same color. So I'm going to put one also here. And this is just drawing. I'm just drawing them in. And there's going to be one here, but just suggested, like that. Okay, so scary part's over. Time to paint. We're going to fill it in with dark. Like I said, this is a study. This is not a studio painting. Add a little bit of burnt umber and alizarin crimson just to break it up so it's not so black. Maybe even a little viridian green in there, because we don't really need it that black, do we, guys? No. And I like to see brush strokes. I'm not painting a photograph here. I'm doing a painting. So I add a little more viridian to the background here. And see how I'm just suggesting? Just hold the brush real lightly and just touch it down. Add a little burnt umber brown. And then we're gonna have, this is our flower that's kind of coming in from the side. And then down here, this was another one, remember? Little purple into the green. Purple will always make green darker. So you know. The light is going to change very quickly. There's going to be a very bright light. I'm going to lift you up just a little so you can see the board. There we go. And, okay. So, magical. Just magical. Peonies. I have some darker colored peonies in the back of the property that my grandma had on her farm when she was a little girl. And I love looking at them and thinking, you know, she probably picked them when she was a little girl. So there's your background, right? Now the peony stem itself, can you guys see any peonies in here? The peony stem itself, it's kind of like a yellow green. So we're gonna mix some greens, take some viridian, some sap green, little cad yellow light, white, and make like a value scale of greens. Did you see this? If you don't know how to do that, I did do a video on values, and it would be in there. Can you see this flower? I want you guys to be able to see it. So I'm just practicing with the flower color. So I'm using the same brush. I'm painting Alla Prima wet into wet. And the stem's got like a white yellow, kind of a yellowy white color. A little more yellow, add some ochre if you want it darker, which I do. Okay, as it goes down, it gets even darker. I'm going to use a little burnt sienna. Just a little. Everything is in the subtleties, you know. Okay, and then the leaves, when I squint, we've got all different colors of leaves. The leaves kind of look like stretched out almonds, don't they? So, might have a chipmunk run up our palette while we're painting here, because got a bunch of baby chipmunks. There's one right there at the base of the tripod. So, don't be afraid if a little chipmunk comes to visit. See how we're doing? So I'm just looking at, I'm going to add a little gray to that just to cut it down some. So I love this color, violet gray. You can get it at Jerry's Artorama for like $1 a tube or something. It's in the 50 Shades of Gray. Catchy name, huh? I just love it, and I use it a lot of times to cut colors down when they're too bright. It just helps cut them down some. So I think sometimes put a little cobalt blue, and let's see. Ooh, look at that. That's nice. Put a little ultramarine blue. That's nice. Put a little purple. That really makes the green dark. Watch. See? Purple really makes it dark, but sometimes you need dark. So that's good. Okay, I'm gonna come along this stem right there. I'm gonna put some ghosts in the background. If you've ever watched my other videos, a ghost is like a hint or a suggestion of things in the background. Oh, that's a robin behind us. She's digging for food for her nest. See? That's that one I was just telling you about I wanted to paint. Okay. I'm happy with that. That's looking good. Okay, now we need, I think, a little more green. I'm going to add some cad yellow to this. And I'm just going to take a second and look. These leaves are all kind of getting kissed by the sun, for lack of a better word. And that changes them. Poor Rod Doberman, he wants to come play with us. Okay. It's okay too, and often it's very powerful in a composition to let things go off, you know, go off the board. I'm going to add a little purple, a little bit of dark. Oh, there's my crow. They love to show up when I'm painting, don't they? So I'm just putting a couple spots of dark here and there where I see it, just a couple. Okay. And this leaf, I'm almost done with the green. This leaf is very light. I see. So's this. And this one. Okay, once you get the lights how you like them, you got to leave it and not chase it. So we can't chase the light. So we are at this point with our little peonies. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to clean the brush really well because I'm going to use the same brush to do the pink. Okay, so the center of the flower is darker. So I'm going to use alizarin crimson and purple. Just a tad bit of white, and that's what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to squint and kind of put that in. You need a dark so that your lights look light, okay? And like I said, this is not a studio quality painting that would be in a show or anything. This is just a study. Studying the way the light hits it. I'm studying all of these things. Okay, so this is alizarin crimson and white. We'll give you this. I've never painted these peonies live before, so I'm problem solving while I'm talking to you, which is pretty freaking tricky, hard to do, but that's okay. Okay, there's that. And then we've got this one down here. We're just suggesting, okay? Next, I'm gonna leave this right here for you to look at and work on for 1 second. I have to grab a paint. Okay, I was gonna get some different colored paint, but I don't have it out here. So we're gonna learn how to improvise in the field. All right, how do we make a bright pink? Well, we gotta first, I'm gonna really use the turp to thin down that alizarin mix. See how I'm doing this? Rod, no cry, honey. We'll go for a walk in a minute. So I'm just kind of squinting and putting this in here, right? Like that. Now I'm going to take, gosh, I wish I had that color. Pooh. All right, so we're going to use alizarin and white. We're just going to make it lighter. And that's how we're going to do it, like this. Alizarin and white, and we're just going to make it whiter. So, take your alizarin crimson and your white. Just squint, and wherever you see it, stick it in there. The lighter it is, the more white we need. But we're losing some of our darks now, which I kind of did on purpose just to show you that this happens. And it's okay. If you lose your darks, you just got to go back and put them back in. But right now, oh, look at the bee. I had a bee one time land on my painting. Isn't that cool? Thought it was a real flower. Okay. So I'm not trying to draw this. I'm just having a lot of fun with movement and color and just trying to paint what I see, for lack of a better. Okay. I need some more alizarin. Luckily, ta-da! I've got it right here. Isn't this fun? The birds are chirping, the wind is blowing, even though it's very, very hot. You know what? I'm gonna get a little bit of red too. Get some cad red light out. If you have trouble opening these, you can always use your towel to help. Ugh, that's not good. This is how I end up with paint all over my face. It's on my hand, and then I itch my nose, and I look like a palette. So I want to try to keep this painting pretty abstract. I don't want to fill in every single hole, every single space. I just don't want to. That's not the look I'm going for with this. So I'm just kind of going to squint and kind of do it that way. Add more white. I see white. Oh, Blackbird's not happy. He's not happy. Well, that's why Moon's here. Hi, kitty. Moon came to say hi to us. Okay. Take some of this alizarin, crimson. And I know some people are like, oh my goodness, you're using the same brush, you're crazy. But you know, I've been doing this a long time, and I'm used to kind of having the same brush and using the same brush too. So, and I prefer it actually. There we go. Now it's starting to take form a little more. Okay. And I need a pink. Good pink. Because this leaf is turned over, petal, sorry, is turned over like so. And this petal is like this. Just adding sometimes a very few highlights can make it look so real and then leave the rest very natural. Oh, look, we have a visitor. Well, hi. Hi, Dirty Birdie. Look who we have here. Say hello, Moon. You're on a camera. Say hi. This is Moon. He's in the garden with us. Whew, he's dirty. Chasing the chipmunks, Moon. Chasing the chipmunks. Okay, so I'm getting to where... Okay, and if you feel like you have too much, you can always use a palette knife, and you can lift off. Sometimes it helps blend, sometimes it helps soften. Palette knife. Sometimes it just screws it up too, so you got to be careful. But you know, the beautiful thing about oil is if you do screw it up, you can always fix it. It's not that big a deal. Okay, so if you saw this, would you think, oh, peonies? Probably not, because it's pretty messy right now. It really, really needs some pink. It needs, okay, take the side of your knife, get a really good pink, load one edge, wipe off that bottom half, and then we're gonna do these little things in here. What are these, the middle piece? Yeah, the middle pieces, whatever that is. We're gonna put them in now. Peonies. These smell so good. If you've never smelled one, you need to. You know, the middle of this is almost cream color, so I'm gonna add a little bit of Naples. And I think I'm done with the knife. I'm gonna get my brush back out. Look at my hands. Ugh. And what a beautiful, relaxing afternoon. So I'm going to take a little bit of my Naples yellow. Got to make sure the red's off your brush or the pink. Add white to it and get this dreamy, creamy color, and then pick up some pink and see if this is more convincing. There, yes. See that? See how that little bit of Naples just kind of gives it life. Now I know there are people out there that paint these and they look real. And we could do that too in the studio and take a very long time. But this is just a study. And the whole point of doing this is get outside, enjoy nature, connect with all the critters, give you guys some real basic lessons here. Okay. So we kind of have that layered look because we have that darker stuff underneath, right? Now, in order to really make this look like believable, we need a little more purple. Boy, it's a good thing I have an easel where my paints can be stored right here with me because it makes life a lot easier. Okay, we're gonna take a little bit of purple, a little bit of alizarin crimson. You guys see what I'm doing? Purple, alizarin. Make a dark alizarin color, purple and alizarin. And we're gonna go back in and we're gonna, oh, look at that bumblebee. He thought my painting was a real flower. Uh-oh, that's my leg, Bumble. Wow! Yee! See him? Maybe he'll come to this flower. Wouldn't that be fun? All right, so I'm gonna just go in a couple spots here. Just to make this pop a little. See what I'm doing? I'm just adding a very few, and it's even a little lighter here at the top. A few little points of interest to give direction so you could see where the flower's coming in from. And then another thing I just noticed, I'm gonna use a little black and a little blue and a little purple and a little green. This is not supposed to be here. So you gotta refine. You just paint, you go back, you look, you go back, you look. Like this, for example. There, now it's starting to look like a little bit more like what we want. Whoa, I think. At least with this particular kind of peony. The bottom one here has this green underneath. I can't forget to put that on. It's actually a little more green than that. Well, it's got some yellow. So you just add yellow. Whatever you see, you just put that in. And as long as you do that, you'll be fine. You can't really screw these up because they're just for fun. So I'm going to put a few little moving pieces of sunlight in there. Now, if it gets too muddy, just lift it off. See how I did that? Just lift it off. And then in here, I'm going to use my knife to make a few more of these things, these little points. I really like that Naples color with the white in the middle. I think that's a big improvement, don't you? When we add the Naples and the white, I would never even think of that color in there either. But yeah, it's there. Oh my gosh, did you see that robin? It just landed like almost on my shoulder. No joke. Wow. How fun. She must have thought I was a garden statue. And then you just look and you refine, you refine, you refine. Now at some point you have to say, okay, I'm done. I'm not doing anymore. Because if you don't do that, what happens is sometimes if you paint, keep going, you end up with what's called mud. And that's very bad. You don't want mud. This actually has a little thing right there. So there it is. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I need to say thank you to all my subscribers and my Patreon. And if you like my videos, hit like and subscribe. It's free. How's it look? There it is. Peonies. Don't forget to stop and smell the flowers. Have a wonderful day. Bye.